The infamous death road of Dow Hill, Kurseong, Darjeeling, India is renowned for its eerie reputation and is frequently referred to as India's most haunted hill station. Tales surrounding Dow Hill feature haunted structures, enigmatic forests, and the haunting presence of a headless ghost. This is a fictional story of one such encounter. I never thought I'd find myself walking down the infamous death road of Dow Hill in Kurseong, but here I was, camera in hand, and Marcus by my side. This was another adventure for our channel, and I was more than ready to see where it would take us. Dow Hill carries an unsettling reputation. Locals warn others to stay away, especially after dark. They talk about the headless boy who's said to haunt the road. Other stories mention shadowy figures that lurk among the trees. Marcus and I had done our research, but nothing could prepare us for the oppressive atmosphere of that place. We arrived at the forest just before dark. The sun was a pale orb peeking behind the hills, casting long shadows across the dense woods. The road was quiet, the kind of silence that makes your ears ring. I felt a shiver crawl up my spine as we walked up the path. The only sound was the gravel on the road. Nothing happens at first, but the air feels heavy, like it was charged with static. I kept seeing something out of the corner of my eye, but every time I turned, there was nothing there. It looked like Marcus saw the same thing, as he kept looking over his shoulder too. After a while, we started hearing something. It was faint at first, but as we walked further, it became clear. It sounded like a kid giggling from somewhere within the trees. I stopped dead in my tracks and grabbed Marcus's arm. We stood there for what felt like an eternity, straining to hear any other sounds. The giggling stopped, but the silence that followed was even worse. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath, waiting. We pressed on, nervous as hell. Every so often, I thought I saw a small figure running between the trees. Every time I turned, it was gone. When I say it got dark, I meant it. It didn't even feel like the flashlights were doing anything. Every sound was amplified 100-fold at night, and I was nearly peeing myself. We hear a giggle again, and as we stop to look around, we both see it at the same time. He was standing in the middle of the road, just ahead of us, a child dressed in tattered clothes, but the head was missing. I felt a scream rise in my throat, but it got stuck as my body froze in place. The figure didn't move as it stood there for a moment, then turned and began walking away, the steps slow and deliberate. Blood dripped from the stump of his neck, leaving a dark trail on the road. My legs felt like lead as we slowly backed away, but before we could turn around, the giggling started again, louder this time, echoing all around us. The figure stopped walking and slowly turned back towards us, even though it had no eyes to see us with. The air turned icy cold, and the weight of the atmosphere bore down on us. I felt dizzy, like the forest itself was closing in. Marcus grabbed my hand, and we ran, the sound of that chilling laughter following us. We didn't stop running until we reached the car. Neither of us spoke as we drove back to town. What could we say? We'd come seeking proof of the paranormal, and we'd found it. Or rather, it found us. To this day, I can't explain what we encountered there on the infamous death road, but I'll tell you this, the legends are real, and some roads are better left untraveled. If you like these kinds of stories, comment down below your country's local urban legends, and I'll create a story around it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.